All right, guys. Injuries from the game. D. Winters had an ankle, didn't return. Tatum Bethune, groin, didn't return. Brock Purdy had a stinger there at the end. He would have returned. Luke Gifford had a quad and returned. Go ahead.
Any of those seem like they could linger into next week?
Possibly with Tatum and D. I'm not sure about Luke. They said Purdy would have gone back in. He checked out all right, but that's what we got now.
What do you just think of Seattle's defense, especially the pressure they put on Brock?
It was what we expected. Just with their defense, we expected to do better than we did, but we knew it was a good defense. We knew that in week one. We knew it from watching tape all week. We knew it would be a challenge, and they got us in a number of moments. Had a couple opportunities, I thought, that we missed. And you can't miss those versus a team like that.
You never want to put it on one play, but you imagine if you are able to recover that fumble, it might be a very different game.
Yeah, I think there's a bunch of plays, though. Chance to recover that fumble could be different. Chance to stop them on 3rd and 17 on that run could be different. The turnover at the end inside the 5. Their 3rd and 2, our 4th and 2. Number of plays that could make it different.
Offense struggling more than we've seen in a long time. Obviously, the defense is really good. What did you see from the execution?
I think when you have, having 40 plays, couldn't get the run game going. I think we only had 12 runs. I think we converted 1 third down in the first half. That was a series, I think, the only series that we got the score on. But you convert 2 third downs in a game. They control the clock for 40 minutes. Versus a good, just kind of the opposite of what happened last game. I thought we did better on our third downs. We played them in week 1. We had the ball for 40 minutes. We averaged about 3 yards a carry in that game, but we stayed on the field, so we were able to get 36 runs. Today the run average was similar, but we only got 12 of them, and they controlled the ball, kept it from us, and when we had to get something going, we didn't stay on the field on third.
You talked a lot about wanting to stay here and not go back on the road, and now you know that you have to. Just what's the feeling, and what did you see?
Oh, we're ready for it. It would have been nice to have to have a home game here, or both home games, and get a bye. But it is what it is. This team's been through a lot this year. Now we got to do it the hard way, and we'll embrace it out doing it the hard way and look forward to it.
Could you try to get the guys to be upbeat after this one, or do you want, do you understand any kind of disappointment that might feel? What was the mood of that locker room?
Oh, disappointed. Those guys, regardless of how well we did, our guys really fought out there. Our guys were exhausted after the game, like we are after every game. I told them to enjoy tomorrow. We don't know whether we're going to play Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. We don't know who we're going to play until after the afternoon game. But when they come in here Monday, come in ready to go, wherever we got to go. And hopefully we can earn it a chance to see that team again.
How close or not close were Trent and Pearson to playing?
They were pushing it. It would have been too risky to play them, though. But they pushed it all the way up to the end. But it would have been the smartest decision by us to let them.
This game was on Sunday. They have maybe a chance to.
Oh yeah, much better chance.
Seattle might be the best team in the NFC, other than yourself.
I don't know. Anytime you got a good defense, a very good defense, a good offense. They've been showing that they're one of the best teams in this league all year. That didn't feel much different than the team we played in week 1. I thought the game was a little bit similar in terms of the battle on both sides just to get in the end zone. But they've earned the number 1 seed. They played like that throughout the whole year, and we're going to have to earn the chance to get to play them again.
Any specific area defensively where you have trouble coping more than anything else?
No. It's similar to what they do each week. They got a good pass rush. They're tough to run the ball against, and they're tough to get explosives against. So.
4th and 2, Kyle, play action. Is that look for something over the middle there? I didn't really see anybody who you could have directly thrown it to.
Oh yeah, we would have hit Kittle. He was. No, he was on a corner. No, he was extremely open. They had one guy had to cover 2, a go route and Kittle, but we got beat inside on that and weren't able to hang in there for it. I think it was Lawrence who showed up right when the quarterback got to the top of his drop.
Brock's performance.
I'll see when I watch the tape, but I thought Brock battled out there. The one drive we got something going on where we turned it over there inside the 5. But he made some big plays on that drive. I thought he battled throughout the game. I know he was under duress, which we had a feeling that would be the case going into the game. But, none of us played good enough to win, but not disappointed at all in Brock. I thought he battled like he always does and did some good things.
They missed a couple short field goals, but 13 points. How did you think your defense played?
We need to tackle better. We need to play better than that. I was proud that they kept battling and was able to hold them to 13 points. That's what gave us a chance there at the end. But we need to play better all around.
When you guys have so many missed tackles, is there reasons for it other than guys over pursuing or Seattle's doing?
No, there's not reasons for it. Just got to be better.
Obviously, you won 6 in a row, and to lose 1 is not easy. But what is the mood in the locker room, you think, after this one?
Obviously, we wanted that one, but onward, man. We're in the playoffs, and we don't have time to sulk over it. I think a lot to learn from that tape, and just got to get better and come ready to go for the playoffs.
Your viewpoint, why is it so hard to get rolling tonight offensively?
Have to check the tape. Yeah, we got to be better, though.
On the interception, the ball was definitely tipped. Did you have to adjust to it? What kind of difficulty did that add to that one?
It's a play that I have to make, absolutely have to make. Expect nothing less but to make that play, and it's completely on me.
There's obviously played the beginning of the season. You watched film all week. Was there anything they did that was like, whoa, this surprised us a little bit? Or they just beat you to the ball and had a better night?
Yeah, they were the better team today. And I think, we'll have to check the tape and correct the mistakes and go from there.
Does this feel like as good of a defense as you guys have seen?
It's a good defense. I think, also I think we just got to execute better. I think, again, we'll have to watch the tape and go from there.
The way you guys have been rolling, 127 points and on the last 3 games, we've been shocked if someone told you guys were going to score 3 points today.
It's a shame, man. I mean, defense did an unbelievable job the whole game. They held them to 13, and that's huge. And it's on us, man. And again, I go back to that play that could have put us in the game, and that's on me. And I'll learn from it, grow from it, get better, and get rolling in these playoffs.
Does it mean that you guys have to go on the road and kind of fight back to get back to the position in the playoffs? They talk about you as basically like a perfectionist when it comes to football. Is it hard to put a play like that behind you now that you have to turn your focus to the next game?
It's challenging, but you have to. You don't have another choice. At the end of the day, we're in the playoffs. We don't know who we're playing yet, but we've had 2 short weeks in a row, and so it's time to get our bodies back, our minds right for a hell of a journey ahead. And just take it one game at a time. You don't have time to sulk over things. You can learn from mistakes, grow from them. I got to make that play, but I can't get it back, and I just know I'm going to come hungry in these playoffs.
It's easy for you guys. How equipped do you think this team is to go kind of the hard road to make a run?
I mean, this whole season's been difficult for us, and we've continued to beat the odds, continued to show people that we're a real football team. We didn't show it today. We know that, but I love the guys in the locker room and how we've responded all year. And, again, put it on myself. I'm going to come back ready to go, and I know everybody in that locker room will as well.
You're pretty consistent all year in saying that not only each game has its own life, but each play has its own life. Was that tonight sort of a example of that?
Yeah, definitely.
What were able to do before and what happened tonight?
Yep, for sure.
Obviously, this was a tough one. What did you feel out there up against that Seahawks defense? What do you feel like could have gone better? What was the feel for you out there?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're good defense, good front. Did a good job with making us, go through reads and checking the ball down. And, for me, it's like I just wish I could have been a little bit more efficient. And, they're going to make you work for the yards and make you have to convert on 3rd down. And I just feel like 3rd downs were definitely an area that, I have to be better. Our offense as a whole, I feel like that's the part where if you got to win these kind of games, you got to be good on 3rd down. So, they did a good job.
How do you feel about having that number 1 seed and a bye right in front of you, couldn't close it out? How do you feel about this team and your chances on the road?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that was our goal, but we can't dwell on it. We have a pretty quick turnaround here, and we got to go win next week. So, but our team has been through so much adversity, guys going down, next guy up. People have counted us out, and that's fine. And they can say what they want, but for us to go on the road and find a way to win, we've done it before, and that's going to be our goal. So, we got to take it one day at a time, get better from this film, heal up, and go find a way.
What happened on the hit you took there at the end, and how do you feel right now?
I feel good. It's just you got hit and the left shoulder sort of lit up, so feel good right now. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. I think so. Yeah.
You guys have been on such a roll offensively, 40-some points a game, and all converting third downs, killing it in the red zone. Is there an element of, I don't know, surprise, shock that someone could do this to you?
I mean, for us, like, we always feel like there's plays left out there, and we could have converted. We had an op, we just didn't due to X, Y, and Z. So I'm not going to sit here and go, you know, man, like, how the heck did that happen? They played good defense, and we didn't execute. And when all these other games where we've pulled away and had good points and stats and all that stuff, it's because we execute on the gritty third downs. We stay on the field, and then we go score touchdowns after that. So obviously that's something that we needed to do tonight. We didn't, and then, you know, the scoreboard shows it. So.
To the play action, did you see Kittle? Was there any chance to be able to get that ball to him with the pressure in your face?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where it felt pressure, but at the end of the day, I need to, you know, find a way to set my feet and get it to him and take a hit if I need to. You know, I was concerned with just having my feet set, and then I saw George, and from where I was at, I didn't really have a clear picture, to be honest. But we got back to the sideline, and it was like, dang, he was there. So just one of those plays that sucks, but you got to learn from it.
Christian, not surprisingly, you know, was pretty hard on himself about, you know, the interception. Obviously, his play he has to make. Did you talk to him, say anything to him, or you just leave him alone after something like that?
I mean, it's a tough play. Ball got tipped at the line, so it came out weird, and you know, he's trying to adjust. He beat his guy in man, and then all of a sudden the ball's just like coming in weird, and you know, just didn't go our way. And the other guy was right there to catch. It was right in his lap. So you know, obviously Christian's hard on himself with that. I'm hard on myself because it's like, dude, don't get the ball tipped at the line of scrimmage. So it's just one of those things that sucks. But you know, Christian's a baller, dude. He's gonna live to play the next play, and he's a Hall of Fame running back. So, dude, should walk out with his head up. So, yeah.
Howdy.
You've been pretty clear in the last several weeks that look, it's up the offense to score. We're gonna have to outscore teams, and that's how we're gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
And things like this happen. They're a good defense, but are you shocked, surprised? How would you sum up how this offense that's been rolling so good got shut down?
Disappointed. I mean, yeah. NFL, you know, you can have a bad game any game. Unfortunately, we decided to have a bad game today. You know, not efficient. Or we 2 of 9 on third down. Tough. Didn't really get our run game going. We started the game off with, 2-3 outs? I mean, if they have a good defense, I mean, and their run game was super effective tonight, kind of hard to, you know, expect to really, you know, win the game if we're not going to score more than a field goal. Shout out to Eddie, though. Thank you for making it.
Colton McKivitz joked that you guys try to make it as hard on yourselves as possible. Is that something that you can adopt and kind of embrace as you go on the road?
Well, look, we lost at home to a division rival for the division and the 1 seed. That sucks. That just is what it is. And yes, I'm disappointed about it. It's horrible. Good news is I get to play football next week. You know, whether it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, whenever it is, I get to play football again. And it's going to be on the road in a hostile environment. Would I much rather be on a bye and get to play at Levi Stadium? Yeah, but that's just not our reality. So, you know, I fully expect our team to come in, attack it, and like we have a whole new season ahead of us. It is what it is. So we just got to go to work. We have a week. Hopefully we get Trent back. You know, that's super helpful. He's a really good football player. You know, maybe Ricky. So, you know, that's horrible. Like, I hate that. I hate losing. I hate losing to the Seahawks. But, hey, we get to play football next week. And whoever it is, whenever what happens, go Cardinals.
Anything at all about their defense that surprised you? I mean, you played them once early in the season, and you watched film of them all week. Was there anything that jumps out at you at what they were doing that was different or better? Or
No, I mean, they pressured randomly. They brought a lot of pressures, which is what they do. They drop really deep. They force you to check the ball down, and they routed the ball really well. That's their defense. That's what their head coach has made their defense do. When you've got a really good, you know, D-line, and, you know, they can all win one-on-one battles from time to time, and then you bring pressure with it, you know, and they got a smart secondary. So, no, I mean, nothing surprising. Just I wish we would have taken advantage of some of the situations, and we didn't. And that's football.
Yeah. They missed a week. How do you feel physically coming out of this game?
Yeah, I didn't make anything worse. So, hoorah.
Cardinals, you have a preference to where you might want to play next week?
You know what? I'm not a betting man, but I'm just cheering for Buda Baker to have 3 pick sixes tomorrow. That's it. And Trey McBride to have 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. That'd be awesome. Tight end you.
Obviously out of your guys' control, but Shanahan said that if you guys played tomorrow, that there would have been a lot better chance that Ricky and Trent could have played. Is that like in your mind at all, or just is what it is?
I mean, nothing I can do about it. It would have been helpful to me too, but you don't get to choose when the games are. They tell you when you play, and I feel like, sure, it would have been helpful if we had an extra day, but you got to show up when they tell you to show up, and our offense didn't show up the way we needed to tonight.
9 years, I would imagine you would expect him to sort of figure it out. He usually does at some point in the game. I mean, was it weird? He just didn't seem to have any answers in this game.
I mean, I feel like we kind of did have an answer there at the end, and then, you have a tip ball. It's a weird, and then another tip for an interception at the 2-yard line. Like, we score a touchdown there, and it's 10-13, and, yeah, who knows? It's a completely different game. So, I mean, I think Kyle, kind of found a rhythm right there, and then that happens. I mean, then they take, 7 minutes off the clock. They go down and doink a field goal, but, you're still down 2 scores at that point. So, I think Kyle had found his rhythm. I think our offense was starting to find a rhythm, and then, hey, tip ball, just it's tough.
Been a part of some teams and seasons that have had a lot go against you. It feels like sort of similar this year, but the record's obviously very different.
Yes.
How do you feel just how hardened this team is, and can you lean on any of those experiences to go into next week?
It's a good question. Let's see. For the guys that have all been here, yeah, you can lean on some of those seasons. Like when we started the 21 season or the 22 season, with a losing record, and we found a way to sneak into the playoffs. Sure. I think it's a little bit different, when you, we weren't missing as many players back then, from Bosa to Fred. I mean, that's really tough. And, but there are experiences that a lot of our vets have gone through, and it's just your back's against the wall. What are you going to do? And one thing I do, I think this team's really resilient. I do. I love the way our young guys are playing. I'm still a huge fan of Alfred Collins and CJ West. Our young guys are getting reps. I think they're getting better week in and week out. And so there are experiences that we can lean on. But the cool thing is it's a brand new season every single year with so many new guys taking advantage of new opportunities and stuff like that. And while, yeah, you have guys who have, Brindle missed 2 games in 4 years. McKivitz has played at a high level. Yeah, we lost Trent for a game. Hopefully that's it. Burford stepped up. Puni, is a 2-year starter. We have guys on our whole offense who have played a lot of games. And so I think, like I always say, we just got to lean on our offense, and we got to figure out a way to move the ball, stay on the field, and not make our defense, stay out there so long. And shout out to our defense. I thought they played a phenomenal game and gave us plenty of opportunities. That's why I'm so disappointed, because our offense didn't back up our defense.
To follow up on that, to have to lean on your offense and then have to go up against a high-powered defense like you went up against tonight, and then have the type of offensive performance that you had. Mm-hmm. Does that at all shake the confidence of the offense to be able to respond in a way that you guys have in the past 6 weeks?
It doesn't shake my confidence at all. I'm fully. I was expecting Brock to go out there and have 5 touchdowns. I mean, I don't. Yes, they're a very, very good defense. They showed that they were a good defense today. They kept us from scoring any points. So kudos to them. I mean, I'm still incredibly confident in our offense. Anytime that 13's in the backfield with the ball in his hands, and I got 23 back there, I mean, I got a ton of confidence in this offense, and it didn't go our way tonight. We didn't make the plays when we needed to make them. That's football. All you need is one really good drive, and we didn't really have that one good drive tonight.
The Seahawks they're celebrating in their locker rooms, cigars and dancing.
Cool.
Do you take offense to it, or you just say you take your medicine because of what they did?
I would do the same. Yeah, I mean, what? They won the division. They got the 1 seed. They won in a rival stadium. Good for them.
Say that despite playing as poorly as you did.
1 second. Let him go, then I'll come to you, Jennifer.
What does it say that despite playing as poorly as you did, that the game kind of turned on that one play at the end?
Can you say it one more time? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
What does it say that despite playing as poorly as you did as a team, that the game turned on one play at the end? It was that close.
That's football. I mean, that's what's crazy about it. Our defense played at a high enough level, and our special teams, made their kicker miss 2 kicks. They kept us in the game. And, if that's a touchdown instead of an interception, you're 10-13 with 10 minutes left in the game, and who knows what could have happened. And, yeah, it's not fun to live in a, who knows, what if. That sucks. But, I mean, we were almost good enough to play, to win, but we weren't. And then it turns out we only scored 3 points. We lose by 10 points at home. So it's incredibly disappointing, but that's kind of the fun thing about football. Like one play can completely change every game. Yes, Jennifer.
You were talking about the energy that you expected from everybody. Was it where you wanted it to be this year?
I thought our fans were fantastic. That was really loud, Levi Stadium. They helped us out so much in the first half. And then, I never blame the fans. Like, we have to give them more to cheer for on offense. They support our defense the whole time. They were just waiting for us to get going on offense. And, we didn't give them a lot to cheer for. And, like I said, it's more just disappointing for me because I like winning football games and I like winning the division and I like being a 1 seed. But that's not how it's going to go this year. And I'll see you guys next week. The team? Oh. Yeah, I liked how we started. It's just when you start with a 3 and out back to back, it's just kind of, that's tough. But when I'm looking down the sideline, the whole offense is like they're eager and ready to go. Like there's no drop of confidence or anything like that. Like I said, when I look back and I see Brock Purdy in the huddle, I have so much confidence because he's such a good quarterback. And so no, my confidence is the exact same. I'm looking forward to whoever we play. Let's go Buddha and Trey McBride. Thank you guys.
What are the just initial emotions on coming up short as far as winning the division and getting the bye?
Just to lose a tough game like that, it hurts. But we got to lick our wounds and get ready, for the playoffs next week.
You guys had a 3rd and 17. What kind of happened there?
I really didn't see the film, but 3rd and 17, we got to get off the field. We got to get our offense back the ball, just so they can drive down and score. Those type of plays can't happen.
Conversely, what's it do for your defense on some of the big stops that you guys had to get them off the field on 4th down and get them out of the end zone for most of the night?
It's a 4th quarter game, so we got to do it the whole game, just to come out victorious.
Anything else?
When you see D and Tatum go down, what's the mindset of the defense?
Just to amp up and keep fighting. Next guy up. I want to say Eric came in, and he came in and did everything he could.
Tomorrow, do you spend time watching Chicago, Philly, and just kind of game planning for them already?
Yeah, just really just seeing who we play, and then watch film, and then figure it out from there.
3rd and 17. How big was that play in the scope of this game? 3rd and 17 that they converted.
We wanted to get off the field, and we do what we needed to do. So they're a great team, and they capitalized on it. So.
What made it so difficult with their running backs tonight to bring them down?
Just making sure we did get our blocks, execute our assignments better. So when we watch film, we'll learn on it. So.
What was the message after the game from coach and some of the veterans?
Take the medicine. We got more football to play. You know what I'm saying? So we got to take it to the chin, learn from it, and get back to work next week. So.
You just wipe this thing come tomorrow?
Yeah, watch film tonight. You know what I'm saying? See what you can do better, and then what to attack next week.
What are kind of the initial emotions off of that when you guys have been on this run to try to get the 1 seed, be able to stay here moving forward, but now that's on the table?
It's really unfortunate. We really wanted the 1 seed, and we fell short. So there's another road we got to take, and we got to be our best version to get back to it, get to where we want to be.
With that being said, to go on the road for the playoffs, what are the spirits from you and the guys feeling like just accepting that challenge come postseason time?
Hey, we're ready. We're excited. We're ready to get back to work Monday. So that's the mindset. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to let this linger. It sucks. We didn't want anything like this, but this team is resilient, and we got to get back to work. So.
Can you take a positive away that for the majority of the night you kept them out of the end zone?
We were thrashing everybody. Fell short on some, but there's more we can do on defense. Because they scored 13 points. They don't score, they don't win. So. Put it on us.
You played them obviously week 1. You watched the film of them all week. This week, was there anything they did defensively that surprised you at all, or was it just they were good today and they were on their game?
Yeah, they were better than us today. I think they're a little more physical than us today. We didn't play our best ball today, and that's exactly what happened. I don't think anything, surprises or anything like that. We just didn't play up to our standard on offense. Defense gave us a chance to win that game, so did special teams, and we just didn't come up with enough points.
You
was clear how important this game would be so that you guys would have home field advantage. How do you have to change your mindset now knowing you're going on the road?
They're going to be road dogs. That's what this team, we've kind of been, is we tried to make it the hardest possible on ourselves. So, we did exactly that. We know what it would have been to have a home game throughout the playoffs and obviously finish up here at Levi's. But, we understand what's ahead of us, and, we'll find out tomorrow where we're headed. But, now we got to be road dogs, and I think this team's ready for that. We've made it hard on ourselves, and, let's go.
When you think about it, is it somewhat of, you mentioned the defense helping you guys to kind of stay in there. Is it somewhat of a silver lining in the mind of you guys when you are battling so many injuries, D, Tatum, and so many others, and still the defense is kind of battling out there to keep you guys in it late in the game?
I don't know if there's a silver lining. I think that's just what's expected of this team. You have guys step in everywhere, up and down, special teams, offense and defense especially when those guys are playing well. And we have to have a shootout last week, and then they step up for us. Here at home with the fans as loud as it was, and then we just come up short on offense. It's a great feeling ahead of the playoffs, but we're going to need everyone to show up again next week.
You guys are on so much of a roll offensively, like 40 points a game and scoring at every quarter and killing it in the red zone. Are you surprised that anybody could do that to you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, everyone's got to show up on Sunday or on today's Saturday. So, we didn't show up on our end. And, it's surprising. We've been scoring 40, whatever, running the ball for 150, 200. But, they just had the better hand today and got us. And, chalk it up to them. Hopefully we see them again.
Cool. You mentioned making it hard on yourselves. You guys have done a lot of hard things this year. How quick do you think this team is to kind of overcome it?
We found it week one when we played them there. We won that game. That was hard. Brock fought through that toe injury, and obviously we fought through our season of injuries ourselves, and we've come out and put ourselves in a position to win the 1 seed. Didn't get it done, but why not have it hard and go win 3 road games? So that's just the road we're going to be on, and why not?
Will you be watching the games tomorrow to kind of find out everything, obviously?
Of course, it's basically playoff football. It's what it was today. At least we get to play another one, and we're not going home today. So that's the biggest takeaway. And we'll find out who we get. I think the afternoon game sets us up. We'll be paying attention, but we're going to find out tomorrow where we're going, and let's go.
Season not over yet. We still got playoffs, and it ain't the end of the world. So yeah.
Home field advantage is now gone in the postseason, but how do you shift your mindset to knowing that you got to go play on the road and win there?
Man, our mindset is to go fight wherever we at, and that's what we can always do, regardless of who out there. Man, it don't matter. We can play in this locker room right now. We gonna give it all we got. So, yeah.
Resilience has been a theme this season for this team. Did it kind of feel like, although it was a loss tonight, after you guys talked with Coach here, and that you guys are ready to kind of go back? You are battle tested. Go back next week and fight and feel confident in that game.
I mean, we put it on the line every single week, man. And yeah, like I said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. We just got to learn from it and understand what we got to do to get better and move on from there.
Is there any simple explanation for a lot of missed tackles more than usual in this game?
No, I see it as we was playing aggressive, but we still got to make the tackles. And, yeah.
What happened on that 3rd and 17, 19-yard run?
Yeah, we just got to make the tackle.
Couple more for Tatum.
Tatum, you said the season is not over. How much did you guys have to remind yourself of that right after the game that you were the playoff game?
I mean, we knew that before the game even started. So yeah, we just lost the game, honestly, man. We got to show up on big time plays, man, and yeah, that's it.
I mean, I personally like watching the games on the iPad over the TV copy. There's some things you can get from the TV copy. However, I'm just gonna take tomorrow, figure out what we need to fix on this defense, and move on to the next week, whoever that may be.
You did have to, start at middle linebacker next weekend. How much better are you now than mid-December, early December when you first came here, just in terms of getting up to speed and all that stuff?
Yeah, I'm way better off. Obviously there's the playbook. There's the playbook and there's the rules that are cut and dry in the playbook. But then as you see situations, as you see motions, as you see shifts, there's special situations in the game where a new rule arises or a way to play it arises. And the last couple of weeks, I've seen a lot of those little changes, little nuances that the offense tries to attack on. So I've got a better read at even where I'm supposed to do on Mike. in this defense. I have two great examples, in front of me with Tatum and Fred. So, we watch a lot on them, and obviously I'm super experienced in this realm. So, I'm just ready to step up wherever the team needs me.
Eric, you're pretty new to the locker room here, but since you've been here, they've been winning. What was the feel of the locker room to you, or the difference, the contrast after tonight's game, and having to turn your focus to another playoff game here just a week later?
I think that everything you see about this team in this locker room is real deal. I think that's the first thing that I picked up on as soon as I entered the door is that, guys are what they say they're about. Guys work hard, they care, and they want to win a championship. So I think that every work day that they come here, that's the kind of effort they show, and it makes it easy for a guy like me who's coming in super late to just, get in the locker room, get on board, and realize how unselfish I need to be to match my teammates who are also unselfish. So, we got a lot of work to do, but this team isn't scared of work. That's one thing I know for sure.
Eric, Tatum had kind of shouted you out this week, I should say, saying that you've helped along the linebacker room. What kind of role have you been able to bring with your experience in a younger room that's been dealing with the injuries?
Man, honestly, Tatum's helped me more than I probably helped him, to be honest. I've been peppering him with questions, especially with this defense. He's been super involved lately, and he's been doing a great job. But there is some things that I just know from experience, and if I can ever lend a hand with that, I told him I'm open for him to help. It's the same way this linebacker room has been so open to help me wherever I may need it.
Were they doing anything different on offense that was throwing you guys off at all?
From the Seahawks?
Mm-hmm.
No, they pretty much ran a lot of stuff we seen on tape. Yeah.
What was it about this team today, the Seahawks, that was just so dominant, really on both sides of the ball, that made it difficult for you guys today?
They played a great game, man. Shouts out to them, but yeah, they played a great game. Yeah.
You guys had a couple games where you were really able to stop the run. What wasn't working today?
I'm not sure. I have to go back and watch the tape to see what was happening out there. But I can't give you an answer on what was the problem. But we got to be better. Yeah. That was frustrating. That was real frustrating. That was frustrating. Yeah, that was frustrating.
What does a loss like this, do to this team as you guys look ahead to the wild card round? Obviously, you have to regroup, find some motivation. But when you guys look at the tape, what is the room like after a loss like this?
Loss like this just builds character. Going into the playoffs after a loss kind of puts a chip on your shoulder. Make you want to go out there and prove everybody wrong and get us back to Levi.
It seemed like there were a few missed tackles today. Was that an emphasis after halftime?
Emphasis after halftime was just to keep going. We didn't feel like they were, dominating us on the side of the ball, and we just had to finish the game. That's what we had.
It's a very demanding game physically. Did you feel accumulated pressure during the game when the game's went on?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you feel accumulated pressure from the offense team during the game?
No. I felt like it was pretty consistent.
What happened on the possible fumble recovery? It seemed like it was just one of those that the ball squirts out at the last second.
Just didn't bounce my way. Wish I could go back in time, but.
Do you take pride in the way that you guys reacted that first quarter? The second, third quarter were markedly better.
I think we fought the whole game. I thought we fought the whole game on both sides of the ball.
So holding to only 13 points, you feel pretty good about that?
I feel better if we won.
I mean, keeping it at only 13 points is pretty good but not good enough.
Like you said, it's not good enough today.
Do you feel like this is a kind of a wake-up call that'll help you guys going down the road?
I think this team's got the right mindset, and we're ready to attack whatever comes next. So hopefully see them again in a couple weeks.
Yetur, I apologize if someone asked this, but you guys had a 3rd and 17 with a chance to kind of swing the momentum there. What happened? Was it just a breakdown?
I'm honestly not sure. I got to go look at the play.
Just before that, you had the chance to recover the film. Can you just walk us through what you saw, how that one kind of got away from you there?
Ball just bounced.
Did it feel much different from when you saw them in the opening week? I mean, it probably
that
feels
like an eternity ago. No, it felt the same. They're very physical defense. They're very good. And it felt the same this week one.
Do you feel like your game plan was right for this game and for their defense?
Yeah, it's always right. I always put my trust in Kyle, and you know, he always has the best game plans. I think he's the best coach in the league, so I would never doubt a game plan from him.
What can a game like this do for your guys' confidence? Like you said, you're still a playoff team, but you don't get that bye week. What does that do for all the confidence going forward?
I mean, it might shake you a little bit, but maybe sometimes it's good to take a loss and kind of just come back to earth because we're on such a high for a while. Just kind of get back to the basics and just get ready for next week.
Yeah, Kendrick said it was almost like a little bit of a wake-up call to get ready.
Yeah, I mean, kind of humbling, but you know, maybe that's good. Maybe it's a good thing. It's better to turn it into a positive than just sulk on it.
When you guys were going through, 40 points a game and scoring it every quarter and killing it in the red zone, even as good as they are you surprised?
Yeah. No. If you would have told me we would score 3 points, I would say you're lying. Just based off what we've done the past few weeks. But like I said, we've been playing great for a long time, and so everybody has a game where the ball doesn't bounce your way. And thank God it wasn't a playoff game. We still have life, and I think we'll just get some good momentum going into the playoffs.
Was there anything they were doing up front to be able to stop the run? It was hard to get Christian going, it seemed like.
No, they're just a good front. I mean, same with week one. I think we had 36 runs at like 3 yards a carry. That's the type of defense they run. With those type of defenses, you want to get 4 or 5 a pop and kind of open it up, but it just wasn't in the cards today.
Colton talked about being road dogs. How much do you just relish now? You have an opportunity to kind of reset and do this thing on the road now.
I'm excited, man. What's our road record this year?
It's a good question.
I think it's been pretty decent, So I mean, but there's something cool about going on the road. It's like a big challenge, the opposing crowd. That's just kind of the type of team we've been this year, just kind of underdogs a little bit, and then I think going on the away games would be just a fun challenge.
What was going on in the offense? You guys were just unable to move the ball.
Yeah, just stagnant. Just got to make plays. They did a good job, though. Like, they played good, played a lot of two-shell, and we couldn't get the run game going, so just got to try to find some ways to make something going, get something going.
Were they doing anything different in the run game?
No, they just had a lot of energy. They're playing aggressive, and they just were the better team today.
What do you feel about your energy on the field?
Yeah, no, it was just kind of stagnant. Like, you try to, pour into people, but we just a lot of games in 12 days. I think we played 3 games in 12 days.
13, 3 and 13.
Yeah, so it's kind of tough, but can't make excuses. Just got to try to lift each other up. And it was just hard to find.
How was the attitude in the huddle with Brock and everything?
It was good. It was poised, and I just think they did a good job on defense. They just really played well. Like, they were sound, not making mistakes, and they could take advantage of our mistakes.
Yeah, it seemed like they were really good at tackling as well today.
Yeah, they're flying around, so just kudos to those guys. And, we got to work hard for we still got life, so you never know, we might run into them again. So it might help us prepare for next time.
Do you feel like this is maybe a good wake-up call for you guys?
Absolutely, yeah. Sometimes the adversity is good, so it's our mindset how we take it, and it can help us or hurt us.
The Seahawks run game unrelenting tonight with both Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. They combined for 168 yards on the ground. What's unique about those two players, and what makes them so hard to stop?
Yeah, perimeter guys for sure. They make the right cuts. So I think it's more so us just having lane integrity, just being sound and, not letting them get to the perimeter because that's how they get going. That's how they get a lot of their explosive runs. So kind of being able to stop the engine before it starts, that's going to be key to be able to stop a duo like that.
What was the most frustrating aspect of this game for you guys tonight?
Probably losing, I say. Feel like we had our opportunities out there and we just didn't capitalize. Everyone's going to look themselves in the mirror and, we got another game to play. So it's not a lot of time to just mope around. Like, I know the guys are furious after this, and we're going to use that fuel to play our next opponent.
Yeah, to your point, you do have a playoff game now next week. What was Kyle Shanahan's message to you guys in the locker room?
Best believe that, we all shared the same emotion, left a bad taste in our mouth, and, is igniting something within us that's going to help us make this run that we need to make.
What gives you confidence in this team? You guys have battled so much adversity this season. What gives you confidence heading into the playoffs?
I mean, that right there is the thing that gives me the confidence. You know, we're battle tested. I feel like we're more battle tested than anybody in the NFL. So we're going to be a scary team to face in the playoffs. So, hey, we're going to be road dogs, and, you know, we're meant for this. We put ourselves in position to, you know, execute and you know, go dominate in the playoffs. So it doesn't matter where we play, we're gonna get the job done.
The mentality after this loss in the locker room, how do you guys battle not letting this loss affect you as you head into next week?
It's a new season, so it's we're flushing it and then we're on to the next. Right? Everybody knows that. We got the vets that voice that to the other guys that haven't been in this position before, and some of the guys that are new that have been in playoff moments before. Like, everybody knows it's going to be my first time. It's going to be the rookie's first time, and we're all excited. So it's a new season, new slate, and we're ready to roll.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.